Hey everybody, it's Krista. Sorry I'm running late, but my camera is not working and I don't know why. I tried disconnecting it, reconnecting it. So I'm just going live on my little bit crappy uh, computer camera, but as long as you can see me, I'm happy. So um, today I really wanted to talk to you about something that I see all the time with entrepreneurs, and that is really time management issues. Okay, so basically, most of the time, when you become an entrepreneur, you have no previous experience doing this. And what that means is you go from having somebody else manage your time, literally telling you every day or every week, like, this is what you need to be doing, to having to figure out on your own what and when you should do things. And this is absolutely um, not so easy, right? Because it's almost like your whole life you've been always told what to do, right? I mean, at school you had your classes really not under your control. Then when you got to university, it's very limited what you can control. You had to plan things, but it was all within what's available. Then you get hired somewhere in a company, and you're basically told, I need to be there from this hour to this hour. And when you're there, what are you supposed to be doing? And someone's giving you feedback, someone's managing you. So suddenly you're running a business. Very, very different, right? Hello, Gabrielle from Colombia. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I always love how international it is online. So today we're going to be talking a little bit together about running your online business, how to get organized, right? And it's funny because, like I said, I think all of my clients have the same issue. And I basically have had this issue, but I've just been doing this for quite a while. So it's less of a problem. A lot of people who had to work from home over the past year or two because of COVID have also faced the similar problem. It's really how to manage your day. So for those of you who don't know, I even have a time management course. So shameless plug right away, because that's how big of a problem it is staying organized, getting organized. And then add to this problem of trying to adjust and organize, add to that you may have be juggling several different types of things, right? So a lot of the entrepreneurs I coach, they're either still working full time while trying to build a business on the side, or they have to juggle between serving clients, what I call bread and butter work, right? And building some course or some business elements that will be their own money making thing, right? So providing services versus doing creative work for yourself. So no matter what, you are juggling a lot. So so the main thing that you need to know is when and how you should be organizing your time. What I like to tell a lot of my clients is to start with the end in mind. And that's not something I came up with. I credit that to Stephen Covey, who is a big time coach and business advisor. That his quote is, begin with the end in mind, right? Begin with the end in mind. Very, very cool saying. And so when I say begin with the end in mind, ask yourself, what is the outcome that I want to achieve in general? Sometimes I'll refer to these as big picture goals, right? And ultimately, I think we all have the same big picture goals. I would dare to bet that most of our business goals, most of our big picture goals are the same, right? We want to have a successful business. Am I right? So if I ask you, well, what's your goal? You will tell me that. But at the same time, if it was that easy, we wouldn't be having this live, because on top of that, you probably want to have good relationships. There's no point in making a lot of money if you're alone. So you probably are juggling running your business, with your personal life, with your family, maybe you have kids on top of it, it gets complicated, right? Even a relationship with a partner. Um, and what that means is you can't just be a workaholic. So already there's a conflict because we've only got the same 24 hours in a day. But as a business owner, your work is never finished. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. And a lot of new entrepreneurs, they don't understand that. They think, well, I'll just finish this up and then I'll be good, right? And I'm like, no, because when you get to that level of success, when you reach that milestone, guess what's going to happen? You're going to set new milestones. You're going to want more. So it will never end. You'll just keep going up and new levels, new problems. So there really is hardly any like stopping point. And what happens is people tend to become workaholics where they feel like they just have to keep going and going and going and going without any breaks. And that leads to giving up. That leads to burnout. That leads to getting really frustrated about your business. Or at the same time, if you're just being a workaholic, it leads to neglecting your health. It leads to neglecting your relationships. So everything becomes focused towards your work and you don't have time, energy for the people who you supposedly love or care about, and especially for your health. So that's a major, major problem that you need to fix, right? But what happens, it's a catch-22 because on one hand, you have to take care of your free time, your life, your private life, your health, your relationships. But on the other hand, the work never stops coming in. So you see the conflict here? It's like, okay, I don't want to be a workaholic, but do I have a choice? And as an entrepreneur, as a coach now, I hear this all the time. And I'm here to tell you that those feelings and that scenario is absolutely very typical, very standard, very common. Um, and so here's what I'm here to do today is to talk to you about how to deal with that situation. Some people call it work-life balance, but I actually just call it work-life integration because if you're doing what you love, it doesn't feel like work and it gets even harder to separate maybe, time-wise what's actually work and what's not because you just think this is fun and you enjoy it, so you're doing it. So what I've come up with as a solution is today I'm giving you a little taster of it for free because I have a whole course around this, okay? But what I've come up with as a solution is really to plan out your time because to quote another great coach, Jim Rohn, he said, no, it was Brian Tracy who said, either you run your day or your day runs you. Was that him or was that Jim Rohn? In any case, one of them said it. So I don't want to plagiarize anyone. But the truth is you have to plan ahead because even millionaires who are accomplishing amazing, massive amounts of work have the same 24 hours as you. And so if anything, you shouldn't wish for more time. You should wish to learn to be better organized. Figure out how you should organize yourself. And make that a massive goal in your year. In 2022, start the year off right by saying, how can I get better organized as a business owner? Right? And so here's what I've come to learn over these years that I've been a business owner is we are creatures of habit. So the more you can align your weekly schedule with the energy levels that you have personally throughout the day, the better. There's a really good book that I like to recommend called Deep Work by Cal Newport that talks a lot about how to become super focused and super productive. That goes into that a little bit further. But basically, throughout the day, your energy has different peaks and it goes up and down, up and down. And the more you can align your day and your activities with that energy level, the more productive you'll be. And you know what I'm talking about, because let's say that it's really late at night and you're a morning person, so this is really hard for you to stay awake, but you have an important presentation the next day, and every single slide that you're going through, it just takes forever. And you realize that your head isn't working. It feels like you have brain fog. Well, that's because you're working against your energy. Hey, Gabe, thanks for stopping by. Deep Work, yes, it's an amazing book. I highly recommend it. And and he talks a lot about that energy. How do you align your activities with your energy levels? So normally we are programmed from our DNA to align our energy with the daytime, because the sunlight gives us certain hormones. It helps wake us up, right? And at night, the same thing. As soon as it gets dark outside, naturally we have hormones that tell us now it's time to go to sleep. And we're supposed to tune out and go to sleep. So we're animals, right? We're just humans are animals. So think about the daytime and the nighttime, and you have to see, are your energy levels the same? Because there are legitimately people who are the opposite. There are people who are night owls, and then they have to follow the same rules that I'm talking about, but they just have to inverse it. But naturally, normally, most of us are morning people, even though we don't want to admit it. And that means that in the morning, you do some creative work. All right. And that's something that you'll read in the book Deep Work that I just recommended. Phil says that he knows that book. It's a great book. Digital Minimalism. Isn't that his newer book? See, I think Deep Work has been out for a while. I read it a long time ago. But I think Digital Minimalism is a newer book. And Phil says he is a night owl. Oh my gosh. Well, you want to hear the funny thing? Is I'm a vampire. No, I'm actually one of those people who doesn't actually like to sleep. So I'm a light sleeper. Like me and my dad, we basically have lived on like 5 hours, 6 hours sleep our whole lives. And I remember meeting someone who like was horrified by how little I sleep. And I'm like, yeah, I can get by with about 4 hours, a few hours in a week. A few nights a week I have to sleep like 8 hours. So I can go like 4 hours, 4 hours, 4 hours, and then on the weekends make up for it by sleeping 8 hours. And this guy was absolutely horrified. He was like, you're going to die. It's like so unhealthy. So I don't know. I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to judge you, because I don't think I'm the healthiest person either with this. But at the same time, I can get up really early in the morning. So you see, I just don't need a lot of sleep. So I'm kind of both. I'm a hybrid. But you guys know what I'm talking about your energy levels. So whatever you do, if you want to run a business and you want it to be successful, you're going to have to plan out your schedule, and you're going to have to align your schedule activities with your energy. And what I like to do, guys, is I like to actually take my whole day and divide it down the middle and say, here's my morning and here's my afternoon. And the morning hours are dedicated towards creative work. So what is creative work? Creative work is anything that requires you to develop something from scratch, where you're using your creative side of your brain. All right. So crunching numbers is not going to be a creative task. Producing your YouTube video, your podcast, your writing your content, your blogs, editing video, those could be considered creative work. Yeah, I see Phil says he wrote another book called A World Without Email. That is pretty, that guy must really hate email. I couldn't get by without email because in a world where I'm bombarded with chat messaging and, um, social social media, I don't know. I would be totally lost if I didn't have email, to keep me moving forward. But that's another thing. When I talked about doing all your creative work in the hours where you are creative, then the opposite is when you have low energy, right? When you know that your brain isn't the best, it's like kind of foggy or kind of zen. That's the time to do administrative tasks, all right? So I'll post this in the comments. Is creative. I wish I had my right word put up here. Creative is when you have your high energy levels, okay? Okay. So I want you to do plan out all your creative activities when you have your high energy levels. All right. And for most of us, it's been proven that most of us are actually morning people. So for me, I can do all that really well in the morning, not so much at night. Although I told you I'm kind of a hybrid, so I don't think that you should base it on me. Figure out for yourself what you are. And I know you guys know right away. Like if I ask you, are you a morning person or a night owl? You'll know. And then start trying to organize your tasks that way. So have all your creative tasks in those high energy hours. And what I mean by that, guys, is you're going to have to get disciplined to take away all distractions because the evil of success is multitasking. You have to kill the multitasking. That means turn off your notifications. Stop having your phone next to your computer and like every few minutes, like checking messages. If you are one of those people who gets dopamine from social media, then you may have to uninstall some of those apps or block them. There are actually softwares that will block your social media consumption. I know writers who have to finish, they have deadlines that turn those things on because they become so addicted to the dopamine rush of Twitter that all the time they end up like scrolling and checking what's happening. They can't stop and they had to put those things on. So, literally, creative work means this it means, here, guys, here's what I use: headphones, noise canceling headphones. Put these babies on and you can put on some amazing music to get you into high rhythm. Um, there are there are some. Hold on, where is it? Is this what it's called? I'm gonna find this. I have something that I wanted to share with you guys. This type of music that really helps. Who's with me about using music? Do you guys use music to concentrate? So this is one thing that's really good. It's called binaural beats, and it's a sound that really helps you concentrate. So you can find playlists on YouTube that are like hours and hours long of free music that is made with this rhythm. And then you put on your headphones, you do your creative work, and you're good. You're good. All right. Um, mm, so here's a question. Hello, Hamza. You said, do you think high energy levels are in the morning? I think that it depends on you. So most of us are morning people, and most of us find that we can do more in the morning. There are night owls. So adjust according to when your energy levels are highest. All right. Now, let me tell you, if you're one of those people who is a total workaholic, um, and you have insomnia and you always feel fatigued, then this system isn't going to work for you yet. You first need to get your body rhythms in order, right? Get your blood sugar regulated. Get the nutrients that are missing from whatever's hurting you. So, because if you're depleted from nutrients, you're not getting enough vitamin D, for example, um, you feel tired all the time, then you're not going to be able to tell me when you have high energy because you basically never have high energy. That's bad. I want you to feel a moment of the day where you feel so ready to go. Like, do you have that moment you're like, I'm ready? Like, I really feel like attacking the work. And if you don't, then go figure out what's missing. Like I said, maybe it's your vitamin D levels. That's a big one. Um, so Phil, I love it. You've got your Spotify playlist. Phil, are you in my Facebook group? Because I really want you to come in there. About a week and a half ago, I posted about playlists and I asked people for music. And I actually have a list that I keep and I keep adding to it. So I'm gonna DM you, get some hits from you. Because I need that. Because yes, music is a great one, especially those binaural beats that I said. Um, to get your energy levels and mostly to concentrate. So you know that you've got this creative work. Okay. And then you divide the rest of your time with administrative tasks. So, and this is my system and it really works. It gets me super productive. And I'm going to show you what that is. Okay. So, contrary to the creative work, now you've got your low energy. And so, if you're a morning person, you do your creative stuff in the morning and you do your administrative tasks in the afternoon. And this is something that I feel very strongly about. So, I'm very disciplined to protect my time. All right. So, for me, the morning hours, that's when I'm going to do, I'm working on my book. I'm writing my blog posts. I'm writing all my creative ideas for content. Um, I'm working on my courses, like anything that's a creative type of task, that's when I do it because that's when my energy levels are high. In the afternoon, however, that's when I answer emails. I deal with my you know, any kind of scheduling, financial, legal, paperwork, organizational stuff, software updates, you name it, I do that in the afternoon. All right. So if I can help it, I want to organize a perfect day. And my perfect day is comprised of creative work and administrative work and private time. And obviously, I want to have some private time too, right? So your private time, you've got your family and friends, and yourself, your me time. There. So, there's your day. There's your day right there. And your me time, obviously, you can base it on different times of the day. Um, but you got to take care of yourself, otherwise you'll burn out. So sometimes workaholics, they think that they're getting ahead of everyone else, but they're not, because your brain doesn't work like that, right? Your brain is still trying to catch up and you're actually slowing down without even realizing it. And so a lot of people end up giving up on their businesses, giving up on their YouTube channels, giving up on their podcasts, not launching a course, like whatever they were going to do, they give up on it just because they can't figure out how to get organized. All right. Um, but if you divide your day with your energy levels and then you are super disciplined about just doing those tasks at those times, you're already ahead of so many other people. All right. And I like to call that my perfect day. It's like, this is how I organize my day so that everything fits in there. And I mentioned this earlier, but the work will never stop, right? It's almost like the dirty laundry or the dishes. Like, that you're going to have to wash them as soon as you finish this load or another meal. So you're never going to really get ahead. Instead of trying to get ahead of the curve, organize yourself and then tie your tasks back into your bigger goals so that I know, okay, my goal is to publish a book. What do I have to do in order to publish the book? And what can I manage to do? Because sometimes we're not in alignment. Maybe we're in denial. We're kind of lying to ourselves. We're overly ambitious. So sometimes people are like, well, I'm going to do this in 1 month. And I'm like, where did you come up with this number, 1 month? And the reason is because people are short-term thinkers. They want short-term success. And I know this because we get dopamine hit from uh, reading clickbait articles or watching clickbait videos where people say, do you want to know how I made $1 million in 30 days? Right? No, I don't. I really don't. Because I don't want to kill myself doing something that probably isn't even true. But the truth is you don't have to do that. It's a marathon, guys. So you don't have to be like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm just gonna like nail everything. No, slow down, focus, and set up your schedule accordingly so that you know when you'll meet your goals. So if I say I want to write a book or I want to launch a course, then I work backwards and I plan out all the steps that I know I need to do to get there. All right. That's what's most important. So if you guys want to really nail your time management this year, I invite you to check out my time management course because I put a lot of effort into this and it's actually in my store. And I'm going to drop it in the link because I know that this is going to help a lot of people. So you just go to academy.kristamillon/store and you will find my time management course. It's called How to Be Mega Productive. And in this course, I go into a lot of detail about this. And I also give you worksheets that you can download and you can reuse. I also give you a ton of recommendation, like the planners I use and the books I think you should read. And this is all in the goal of you not burning out, but staying productive and moving forward in your business without letting your business take over your life, but also seeing actual milestones, seeing actual results. This is what I do in my coaching, and this is what I'd like to give to all of you. So I hope this was helpful. Do you have any questions about running an online business, about the time management? Then, check out my course, but you're also welcome to DM me. Best place to reach me is probably on LinkedIn. So if you guys are connected with me, come over and say hi on LinkedIn or leave a question on my YouTube channel. And I'd be more than happy to keep the conversation going because I don't want any of you guys to burn out. Wishing you a great, great Friday. If you don't know me, I'm Krista. I'm a business coach, and I go live every Friday on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn to talk about anything related to business. If you guys have some business questions, another way to reach me is by leaving me a question here for a topic that you would love me to talk about. It's kristamillon.com/ask. So I'll just drop that real quick and then I'm going to let you guys get on with the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you guys have some great plans. This week went really fast for me, but remember, you can't get time back, but you also can't get your health back. So make sure that you're taking care of both. Have a great one, guys. See you soon.